I'm getting this comment pretty often, and I just want to let you know gold is not an investment. Real estate gives you cash flow, bonds pay you interest, and stocks pay you dividends. What does gold pay you? Nothing. That's why it's not an investment. The reason why people say this is because they don't trust the currency anymore. You only invest into gold or precious metals if you think that your fiat currency is going to collapse. I totally understand. I just want to give you some tips. Have 6 months of your expenses in silver and 6 months of your expenses in gold. 70% of that should be silver coins, which are about worth $20, which you can trade on a daily basis. Unlike a big chunk of gold, which you can only trade once. What if you only need something that's worth $20 or $30, but now you can't trade it? If you ever find yourself in a Last of Us scenario, I hope these tips help. See you in the wastelands.
Why I'm buying over $1,000 worth of gold today. I'm doing this because many people think that the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill will cause hyperinflation. When there's hyperinflation, the price of gold tends to go up because people want to invest in something that's not part of the dollar. And that's...
Should you invest in gold or the stock market? As you can see, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has well outperformed gold over the last 100 years. But when you look at the last 50 years, you can see that when stocks go up in price, gold goes down. And when stocks go down in price, gold goes up. Historically, stocks have given investors much better returns. But after looking at that last chart, it might be smart to own a little bit of gold just in case the market crashes.
I hate gold. Gold is a religion. There's some fundamental value to gold, but everything else, it's a collectible. I see gold and Bitcoin as being the same thing.
Well, hate is a strong word.
Okay.
So the miners too, all of gold, the whole gold spectrum.
Individually, as people, I've heard they're great people. But as an investment, okay, you're right. Hate is not strong enough. Hate with extreme prejudice as an investment.
Okay. You take all of the gold in the world that's ever been produced, comes to about 165,000 metric tons. Some people get excited just talking about that sort of thing. But if you put that all together in a cube, would I rather have that cube, 67 feet on each side of gold, or would I rather have all the farmland in the United States plus 7 Exxon Mobils plus $1 trillion to stick in my pocket? I think that's kind of an easy decision. But people like gold. When they get afraid of money, terrified of money, they run to gold, and then they hope somebody will pay more for it next year, because it isn't going to produce anything. That cube is just going to sit there and stare at you, and you can go, if you own it, you can go and you can fondle it, and you can sit on top of it and do whatever makes you feel good, but it isn't going to do.
Let's say you'd taken that $10,000 and you'd listen to the prophets of doom and gloom around you, and you'll get that constantly throughout your life. And instead you'd use the $10,000 to buy gold. Now for your $10,000 here in your safe deposit box, and you'd have your 300 ounces of gold, and you could look at it, but it didn't produce anything. And what would you have today? You would have 300 ounces of gold, just like you had in March of 1942, and it would be worth approximately $400,000. So if you decided to go with a non-productive asset, gold, instead of a productive asset, which actually was earning more money and reinvesting and paying dividends and maybe purchasing stock, whatever it might be, you would now have over 100 times the value of what you would have had with a non-productive asset.
Yeah, we're not enthused about gold. People historically have felt that was the first refuge from a currency that was going to be decline in value. But so's a barrel of oil, so's an acre of land, so's a piece of Coca-Cola, so's See's candy. See's candy, if the dollar goes down 50%, we will be selling See's candy for double the present price. We'll be getting the same real price for See's candy. People will work the same number of minutes or hours per week in order to buy a pound or a 2-pound box of the candy. So we would much prefer some asset that is going to be useful, whether the currency is worth what it is today or 10% of what it is today, or whether people are using seashells in order to transact.
Okay, so I agree with Warren Buffett on this 100%. I like to invest in stocks because it's a productive asset, and gold is a non-productive asset, so I don't invest into that. So with stocks, they're a piece of a business, and I can monitor it a little bit easier. I can see the revenues going up every year, and hopefully the earnings per share going up, and most importantly, the free cash flow going up every year. So those businesses pay income and dividends to the owners. That's why I like that over gold. Gold, on the other hand, the only way you make money with it is if you sell it for a higher price than you paid for it. So really it's more of a capital gains play. And but gold is good in the sense that it is a store of value, and it can protect you in times of high inflation rates like we're in right now. So, you know, a few different trade-offs there, but I'll still prefer stocks anytime over gold. Okay, so if you guys like this content, just hit the subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.